Yo, what's good? Canaanland Moors class back once again. Tuesday classes will be back up. We're back. Just so people know they can expect classes again on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all the Moors out there that are coming into this movement, seeking to know more than they knew a minute ago. We want to say Islam to all the Moors, peace, greetings, and continue being Moors. There's nothing else going on but being Moors. Nothing else going on but being Moors. Only thing we could be is Moors. That's it. You want to be anything else? Then you go be that and enjoy your life. Today's class, no belief in the age of knowing. This is why we're doing class today, actually, just to put it out there. Um, the senior boys today lost their game because we had some crap referees. Never called nothing. No calls. All they did was call for the favorite team of the league. So playoffs are done. So that's where my time was going on Tuesdays. Getting these young brothers to have some fun, play some ball for their school. So now that's over. Back to business. Gotta obviously do our little bit that we can do to assist in the upliftment of fallen humanity. And uplifting fallen humanity doesn't mean only tell people that they're Moors and you know beat them up with that. Uplifting fallen humanity also includes just being humanitarian, doing some things, you know, humanitarian, doing some things to assist, to help out, people who we know could use a little bit of, inspiration, etc. Um, Once again, I want to send a big shout out to all the family out there that's been supportive of Canaanland Moors, whether it's through watching classes, um, whether it's through supporting with the music, willaballah.com, just so you know, yeah, Islam to Sister Tahida for the logo, Will of Allah. Islam to Brother Jonathan Bay for the website, Will of Allah. And also for the website, themoorishdirectory.com. You need to check that out if you haven't. The Moors who have supported, coming to class, as far as Canaanland's concerned, making sure they're paying their dues, making sure they help the fundraising drive at the temple by purchasing something every time they come in there, whether it's shea butter, um, which we're about to have up in the temple, Adero Herbals, we got the Rastafarian Moors, they got their products in the temple, um, books, DVDs, the usual. We want to start off today with some reaffirming some things, because there's a lot of people out there, that basically have no life and all they do is sit on Facebook all day, right? Or Twitter or whatever social media BS that's out there, virtual reality. And their position is to be on there to get votes or likes or share stuff, you know what I mean? whatever it is that they do on there. My position with virtual reality is that it's virtual. So I really don't care what people think about what I say on there. I really don't care if you think, whatever, right? You're entitled to your opinion. This is a Republican form of government. There is a constitution, and you have a right to express yourself. But I don't have a right to listen. I don't have a right to care, what people put out. But we want to make sure that we confirm the position that Kudjo Adwo L takes with being in this position of quote-unquote Grand Chief of the Moorish Science Temple of America for Canaanland. The Moor out there by the name of Noble Kelly Bey. And Noble Kelly Bey, this is big quotes. We're going to quote Noble Kelly Bey. How many of you Moors, that's you, right? How many of you Moors have checked his credentials, my credentials, right, and saw evidence of an appointment to the office of Grand Sheik by a lawfully chartered temple signed off by Consulate Post 1 in Chicago? If you backing him up and you have not proven to know that he is a real appointed and consecrated Grand Sheik, then you are being misled and lied to. All sheiks and officers of the organic MSTA have public record document numbers filed in Cooks County Recorder of Deeds according to 805 ILS Religious Corporations Act for the world to see and know the truth. Proclamations are public announcements, and by the look of it, he is self-proclaimed and has no lawful proof that he is a Grand Sheik or a lawful Moorish American. If this is not true, and you, Kudjo, K-U-J-O, even though my name's right there, you can see how to spell it or whatever, can prove your proper nationality and appointment to the office of Grand Sheik of the MST, then I will yield the floor so you can demonstrate to me and the rest of the public. Let's see who is a real dirty Moor and who is telling the truth and holy breath. All right. Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that sheiks are born. Noble Drew Ali, the holy prophet, the highest officer in the Moorish divine and national movement of the world. And you hear me clear my throat and stuff like that. That's for yelling at these refs all game today. They're crap calls. So it's not, flu, next week, no class because Kudjo's sick. Not going on. Noble Drew Ali, the prophet of the Moorish divine and national movement, the prophet of all the Moorish Americans, told the Moorish Americans that sheiks are born, not made. So if sheiks are born, not made, the appointment to Grand Sheik is not something that's going to be some paper crap. Because Noble Drew Ali, once again, told the Moors, it's by your works and deeds that qualify you. It's by your works and deeds that qualify you. So you have to be basically active in order to be qualified. Now, what people don't understand and what people need to understand and overstand and understand about the Moorish divine and national movement is that there was a sellout in there. And because there was a sellout in the Moorish divine and national movement, you have these clown-ass Moors, right, that have positions of power in the Moorish movement. And they take the position of trying to own Noble Drew Ali, trying to own the Moorish Science Temple, trying to own the Circle 7 Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple, trying to own a handshake, trying to own nationality card, trying to own anything having to do with what Noble Drew Ali brought for the Moors. So they can be happy because, you know, when the Moors are happy, the Prophet's happy. Right? When we came into the movement, just so we can, you know, put some people out there, so that people, if they got problems with Kudro's credentials or whatever like that, go ask people, right? Go ask these people and let them tell you why Kudro's Grand Chief, you know. Since you know, dirty Moors like to use um, filing offices as their profit, you know, filing office is what validates whether somebody's a Moor or not, right? You're gonna actually we have a Skype with the Grand Sheikh, the National Grand Sheikh that chartered Canaanland Moors. That's Brother Daweed Ali L. He's on Facebook. You can go look him up. Daweed Ali L. As well, at the time, my divine minister, another, you know, Moor signed off on the charter, signed off on divine ministry papers for Kudro, Brother Kenyu Bey. What these Moors did was recognize that there was no Moorish representation in this jurisdiction, so-called Canada. Being that there was no authority here, being that this jurisdiction was untouched by the Moors, they figured, you know, we might as well, you know, give these Moors everything that they need so they can go back there and start doing the missionary work of uplifting fallen humanity. Okay? There was no going to Cooks County, go file nothing or anything like that. You know, Kudro's, you know, the new Grand Sheikh, Grand Governor or whatever like that. So, you know, whatever, none of that, right? Because Sheikhs are born, not made. And the conversation that I had with these Moors, when they realized that we knew about Masonic stuff, we knew about Nuwapians, we knew about Rastafarians, Haile Selassie, we knew about Marcus Garvey, UNIA, we knew about Fard, Elijah, NOI, we knew about Hebrew Israelites, Ben Yahweh, we knew about all these different schools of thought. You know, we had all these different teachers, you know. We were some of the most active unconscious Moors that they ever came into. You know, like, you know, when we talk about being active, being unconscious Moors and active, right? We already put it on the record, you know what I mean? Since the 90s, we've been doing community work. So this is not anything new. All we're doing now is doing it with fezzes on. We've been doing this, right? They took it on themselves. They took it on themselves. Because we just went there just to check the temple. We heard about Noble Drew Ali, heard about Moor Science Temple, heard people talking crap, people, you know what I mean, trying to make it like some club, cult, whatever. And oh yeah, another Moor that you can go check on Facebook, Brother Richard Neal Bay Jr. That was the Moor that told us, why don't you just come check the temple out for yourself, you know what I mean, and see what it's about. This wasn't anything about come check the temple so we can make you Grand Sheikh because we need more representative. We were just some unconscious Moors that bumped into one out of many Moors that was sincere enough to take the position of, why y'all just come to the temple? We're going to give you our open invite. Just come to the temple. We got convention going on. Come check it out and make a decision, based on whatever, right? So, as far as my credentials are concerned, like I said, I've been doing this. I'm just doing this with a fez on now. And I'm just doing this strictly on the vibe of the Prophet and the Moorish movement. Forget all the black African crap that we used to be talking about. All the black African, black power BS that we had in music since the 90s. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, not new to this, right? Been conscious, right? Like I said, put it on the record before, my dad was a teacher, so I've been had books. This is not anything new of getting information about my history, right? I chose not to delve in knowing myself, right? Because of my ignorance. And the ancestors are only going to let you know that you should know thyself and let you continue not knowing thyself for so long before they start slapping you for you to know yourself, right? As time went on, so this is, so get the charter, get everything, you know what I mean? The Moors ran me through the attic chamber, all that, right? You know, they went through the attic chamber, all these individuals, go ask those Moors, all you haters, go ask those Moors, they'll tell you. I've been through the attic chamber, so I'm not just some more, self-proclaimed that I should be doing this, right? Moors put me onto this. And Moors that put me onto this were some of the most sincere Moors that I ever met, fed us, gave up their bed so that we can sleep and stuff like that when we went to Mecca. Right? Gave up their stuff. The Moors gave up their bed. Their own bed that they sleep in, they gave that up so Canaanland Moors could sleep. That's some sincerity right there. So as time went on, studying, 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 we realized that, we got to start doing some stuff. We got to get this word out to these people. Went around to everybody who I know, made the call to everybody, we're on this info now, we've been conscious together, whatever. A few people jumped on, some people were like, whatever, still black today, African, whatever like that, getting grant money and all this type of stuff, and didn't take the position of getting down with this. And, that was '07, right? 2015, now we're here, and we're realizing that these Moors set us up. Because they didn't explain what the hell the sellout in the Moorish movement was. We had to find that out on our own, right? We had to find it out on our own. But again, Noble Ali taught the Moors that you who choose to know stuff don't, or you who choose to be told don't know anything, because man knows not by being told. Man knows by experiencing for themselves. Man knows by going out and studying for him or herself, so that he or she can know what they're up against when they say, I'm a Moor, I'm a Moorish American. Because the program that the dirty Moors are pushing is nobody is supposed to want to be down with this. Nobody is supposed to be on the mentality of, when they hear Moors and never heard it before, of getting down with this. Their position is supposed to be, Moors, oh no, that's some cult, those guys get arrested, those guys blah blah, that's church, all they do is pray, sing hymns to Noble Drew Ali, that's just like going to church, so why am I going to get down with that? Once that goes down in the people's mind, bam, they did their job. They get their little check, and they continue running their fraud. Right? Just remember, El Hajj, Spike Lee showed you in the Malcolm X movie, brothers with their yellow envelopes and stuff like that. There ain't no documents in no yellow envelopes. Trying to get El Hajj to, take the money. And because of his sincerity, You know, even Betty tried to convince him to take the money. They take the money so they can stop bothering us and crap like that. You know, refused to sell out his people. Refused, because he knew without a shadow of a doubt that all he has to do is put it out there and he would influence his people, right? So we start putting out this information, and all these, attacks start coming. All these Moors, all of a sudden, all these Moors all over the place. They're mad that there's Moors in Canada, mad that, their jurisdiction is now, they're now in competition in a jurisdiction that they thought, they had on lock, right? Because if you don't know, Canaanland Moors gets calls from Moors all over the world, just because Canaanland Moors has a number and an email. When all these other Moors that's been around here for 80 years or whatever, you can't reach them. And if you try to reach them, that's like the Moor said that one of these states out here, Moor said he talked to a Moor on the phone. Moor's like, yeah, come on, we got temple, check the temple or whatever. Moor went to the temple. Temple was a goddamn donut store or something like that. What did the brother do? This is some BS. And almost threw away his birthright because of some dirty bastard that led him astray, giving him the address to a donut shop when he's trying to find the Moor Science Temple. That's what we're dealing with out here. As Moors, as conscious, competent Moors that are coming into this information, you're dealing with jerky boys who take the position of not giving the people their birthright. So when we start giving people their birthright, all these Moors now, they getting mad. Why are they getting mad? Because they're losing fiat. Because Kudro's not one of these Moors that's leaving dirty Moors alone. Kudro's one of these Moors that's going to talk about them every day, all day, so that people can be very clear as to where they should go to get information and where they should not go. People will be very clear at the key words that dirty Moors use, so as soon as they see it, they get down. You can go to moorishdirectory.com. They got a dirty Moors section explaining to you what dirty Moors are, so that you're clear, so you can stay the hell away from these people, right? They're abundant on Facebook because, you don't have to show face on that. You don't have to prove who you are. You know what I'm saying? Half those people, if it was a qualification that you have a picture of yourself on there, they'd be going online getting fake pictures of people say that's them. That's how dirty some of these people are up in this movement. Yeah, they don't even have the they don't even have respect for themselves to show you who you're dealing with, right? We have been told, man knows not by being told, but we're talking about the prophet. Right? When the prophet speaks, everything is spirit, so more is better heed. So, when we deal with man knows not by being told, that doesn't include the prophet. Prophet told more stuff. Why? Why did prophet just tell more stuff? Because same reason, dirty Moors. And he realized that all these adepts that he had around him were selling him out. And because all these adepts around him were selling him out, he took the position of, this is not no secret organization. We're going to put everything out there, so nobody has an excuse, right? So if you look right here, you look very carefully at this picture, you can see that the prophet was repping that interlocking star that Moors say is not the star and all this stuff like that and whatever like that, just look at it carefully. You can see the lines, where the lines go, right? Now, when we go to the 101 questionnaire, Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that our flag is a red flag with a 5-point star. Now, I was watching a lesson with Brother Seton Rock Bey and Taj Tariq Bey. And in part of the lesson, Brother Taj was talking about the fraud of language and how people get fooled into things because they assume stuff, right? And the reference that he used was God. You know, so he put it out to the crowd, you know what I mean? You know, reading a chapter, you know, whatever of whatever, and he mentioned the term God and asked people, which God is he referring to? Is he referring to the capital G God or the common G God? And everybody has a, you know, opinion or, you know, a point or whatever. Well, you know, the big G and the little G and, you know, going all around the room, right? At the end of it, the lesson was, you really don't know which one they're talking about if you're not seeing it yourself. So when Noble Drew Ali makes the statement that it's a red flag with a green 5-point star, here's the interlocking star or not interlocking star is a green 5-point star. If you see a red banner with a green star on it, that's your flag. Green 5-point star. Interlocking, whatever, all that stuff is irrelevant. So as soon as more start exercising their birthright, as soon as more start getting active, they're going to get challengers. That's why you need to study. Because when you study, you move out of belief, put belief over there, and it becomes non-existent. Because with studying comes knowing. That's why he called the movement Moorish Science Temple, because science means knowing. So if science means knowing, then he didn't want Moors to be believers when they come into this. When you have a movement like what Noble Drew Ali founded, right? And he put certain things out there. It's for Moors who are sincere and trust the Prophet for them to go and research what the hell he said. Whatever he said, go research it. Check it out for yourself. Don't listen to these clowns or whatever. That tell, oh nah, that ain't what it is because you know, I went through I have the title of whatever, right? Drew Ali told the Moors, I brought you your name, nationality, and title to your vast estate, right? I brought you your name and nationality and title to your vast estate. And all these Moors out here that are against the Prophet are trying to convince people that title is Grand Chief, Grand Secretary, National Grand Chief, Supreme Grand Chief, Grand whatever. Black's Law Dictionary, page 1655. Title. The radical meaning of this word appears to be that of a mark, style, or designation. Right? The radical meaning. So, Grand Sheik. Somebody says that, you know, the title that I have is Grand Sheik, and you know, I'm the supreme whatever of this, and you need to, you know, I'm the Sultan of whatever, you know, and I have that title. That Noble Drew Ali told him to stop the radical stuff, right? Now, as well, a distinctive appellation, the name by which anything is known. Thus, in the law of persons, a title is an appellation of dignity or distinction, a name denoting the social rank of the person bearing it, as duke or count. So in legislation, the title of a statute is the heading or preliminary part furnishing the name by which the act is individually known. It is usually prefixed to the statute in the form of a brief summary of its contents, as an act for the prevention of gaming. Again, the title of a patent is the short description of the invention, which is copied in the letters patent from the inventor's petition. Example, a new and improved method of drying and preparing malt. The title of a book or any literary composition is its name. That is the heading or caption prefixed to it, and disclosing the distinctive appellation by which it is to be known. This usually comprises a brief description of its subject matter and the name of its author. Title is also used as the name of one of the subdivisions employed in many literary works, standing intermediate between the divisions denoted by the term books or parts and those designated as chapters and sections. Right? That's the law dictionary. Now, it clearly said that the appellation of dignity or distinction, appellation of dignity or distinction. Now, when Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that you are not Negro, black, or colored, he was giving you some dignity. If you're not Negro, black, colored, then what do you do next? Oh, you proclaim your nationality. Oh, you proclaim your nationality, what happens? You add El or Bey to your name. Day, Al, or Ali. Which is the title? So the title isn't some piece of paper filed somewhere. The title isn't some piece of paper that says somebody has authority, jurisdiction over something. The title is your appellation. The title is what ties you to this vast estate. Title ties you to this vast estate. When we start listening to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali with our inner ear, because you have two ears. You have your ear, your ears, and then you have your inner ear. You Google the inner ear, they'll tell you about it. Right? When we listen with our inner ear, you hear more things than you would hear with your regular ears. All these things have to do with getting out of belief, because believers just listen with their regular ears. Just like believers just use their regular mind, not their subconscious mind. Right? Believers breathe from their chest, not their diaphragm. So we have to get out of the he said, she said, and get into the I say, because I self-law and master, not he self-law and master, she self-law and master, I self-law and master. Right? As we get more information, there's going to be more challenges. As we get more information, there's going to be more challenges, because the more information that we get, the more we're going to talk. And the more we talk, the more people know about this. And the more people that know about this, they're going to realize immediately that being a Moor doesn't have nothing to do with being some temple member. That's not a prerequisite to being Moorish American, be in the temple. Because again, Noble Drew Ali himself told the Moors that, You're Moorish American because you're descendants of Moroccans born in America, not because you belong to the Moorish Science Temple. So as soon as this perspective is being presented to Moors, that, you're not a Moor unless you A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z. You already know that those people are gaming you. Don't even give them any time. Just send an email to the moorishdirectory.com and let them post those dirty package selling bastards on the website so people know who they are. And they'll know immediately, because you're also going to tell them about moorishdirectory.com for them to go there and check that out. Because the Moorish directory is to direct Moors where to go to get the correct information. Because there has been a block on the correct information. Right? So we'll go again into something else again. So Moors are going to say, like this clown, Noble Kelly Bay, going to talk about, well, it has to be filed in Cooks County because, Cooks County is the authority of the filing of stuff, and if stuff's not filed there, then, you're not legitimate, right? Doing some research, just nothing crazy, you know what I mean? Maybe the second thing that came up doing my research on Cooks County. And there's an article called Cook County, a dark pool of political corruption. Now, why somebody would want to have their stuff filed up in some politically corrupt jurisdiction is beyond me. But, dirty Moors are going to be down with the dirt, right? Cook County has been a dark pool of political corruption for more than a century. A new study by the University of Illinois says nearly 150 employees, politicians, and contractors in the nation's second largest county have been convicted on corruption charges since 1957, according to a report released by the university and the Better Government Association. The 33-page study gives a history of corruption starting from 1869, when county commissioners were jailed for rigging a bid to paint City Hall. It also details hiring scandals, including some under Cook County Board President Todd Stroger. Stroger hasn't been charged with any crime, obviously. The study reforms could turn things around, including stricter campaign finance laws, blah, blah, blah. Now, if this jurisdiction, right now, what was Noble Drawley really doing? Right, because we always put it out there, why did Noble Drawley do the things that he did? Why did he incorporate the Moorish Science Temple of America? What was the reason? Now, they already admitted that Cook County been corrupt since 1800s. Before Noble Drawley, Cooks County's been corrupt. Right? Just like all these other counties out here, you know what I mean? Grand Sheikh Nature, Islam to Grand Sheikh Nature Obey for putting certain stuff on the record in his Moorish History Month lecture, right? About these corrupt counties and the obligation that they have even though that they're corrupt. It's how are you dealing with them. So Noble Drawley knew how to deal with them to get his stuff in there. But when he put his things in there, he put his things in there for the Moors. So the Moors don't have to go there to go do anything. He already did whatever had to get done there. And now Moors taking it on themselves that, oh yeah, no, well, since he did that, now we should go do that, which is recreating the wheel, which means that you obviously is not studying like Mother Anita always says, right? You're not studying, because if you're going to recreate the wheel, obviously you're not studying to know how much damn work that we got to do, that we could be doing all types of stuff, opposed to, just going to Cooks County to file some stuff, just because the prophet did that, right? So when you go to our authority, right? Moors always want to, bring up our authority, right? Because that's, authority of, temple or whatever, right? Back of 101, our authority, right? But they never ever go to the last page or pages of the 101 questionnaire, which are the additional laws. They always talk about divine constitution and bylaws, but they never talk about the additional laws. Always bringing up divine constitution and bylaws. Oh yeah, violate Act 6, violate Act 5. Oh yeah, Kudrow, he's talking stuff against his brother and whatever like that, and so he's a violator of divine constitution. But they never bring up the questionnaire, or they never bring up the additional laws for the Moorish Americans that Noble Drew Ali put out there because of the sellout that was going on. They didn't have to make additional laws if these niggers were doing their job. Because they chose not to do their job, Noble Drew Ali had to, go over and beyond, just because these guys not doing their job, and put certain things in place so that you know what the obligations are of these people that call themselves whoever. They got titles and they want to challenge Kudrow on his credibility of his title. But they're not going to tell you about additional laws though. But they want to make sure that, make sure you challenge Kudrow, make sure he's a Grand Sheik, because, he's supposed to have stuff filed in Cooks County to be Grand Sheik. When Noble Drew Ali said sheiks are born, not made. He ain't say nothing about no Cooks County or whatever like that to be sheiks. So let's just go through these additional laws for Moorish Americans, because, I don't even know if this is online, it is in the 101 questionnaire if you have that. And again, if you are in the Moorish movement, 101 questionnaire is something you should have. Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America is something you should have. Moorish literature is something that you should have. It's just something that you should have. No questions about it. Why should I have it? Whatever. Go get it. You know where to get it? You go to rvbaypublications.com. They got it. You can go to moorishguidepost.org. They got it. And you should be able to go to any Moorish Science Temple of America, walk in the door, and get it, and leave. But they took the position of trying to own Noble Drew Ali stuff. All these Moors out here that want the truth that Noble Drew Ali brought can't even get that from the temple. Because, like Brother Seth and Rabe was talking about, when, unconscious Moors go to the temple doors, muftis open up the door and they're giving people up and down stuff, staring at them. When they came to them, right? Imagine you go, that's no different than you go to a store and clerks following you around the store thinking you're going to steal something. What would that make you do? Want to leave the goddamn store, which is the plan of these dirty bastards. Get people to give up their birthright. So then the responsibility is not on them if you give up your food. You gave it up. I mean, hey, Noble Drew Ali brought this for everybody. Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, held up the Quran in the 101. I brought this to help save you. Take it and save yourself. And then you go to get that, and then they're not giving it to you. Right? You got additional laws that's supposed to be attached to divine constitution and bylaws. And don't forget, I'm coming from a position of Grand Chief. They know none of these guys telling you none of this. Why are they going to tell you this? Because it means that it's over for them if you know this. It means that they can't make fiat no more. It means their time's over once you have what Noble Drew Ali laid down. That's why they don't want you to have it. That's why there's such a big thing of, certain Moors are violators of the Prophet. Only certain Moors. The real violators that are hoarding this birthright of the people, Those guys don't come up. But the Moors that are active, that are doing something, those Moors are always coming out of somebody's mouth, with some negative vibes. So this is the additional laws. Open your ears, Moors, so you can drop these on these clowns out here that's trying to own your stuff, right? Which includes that building called Moor Science Temple of America. Because again, speaking from a position of a Grand Sheik and a Grand Governor, that we, the heads of the Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Divine and National Movement, we, the heads, work for you. We don't work for ourselves. This is not our job, right? This isn't our, 9 to 5. Be a head of a Moorish Science Temple. That's not what this is about. Anybody putting, you know what I mean? Anybody taking the position that, oh yeah, their job is to be Grand Sheik, that's probably some dirty Moors. Get the hell away from those people. Because this is not a job. We're trustees. We're actually servants. That's why when you go read all the stuff, the servant of Allah. Because we're servants. We're trustees. We are sanctioned by you. So if a Moor has an issue, they're supposed to go to the Grand Sheik, Grand Governor, Grand Secretary, Grand Treasurer, Grand Mufti, whatever, whoever the heads are in that building, and demand things from them in the public meeting. But then, if there's no public meeting, obviously, you can't make demands, which is why there's no public meetings, only church service in the Moorish Science Temple today. And very few as in, only a handful have fingers left over, few, take the role of trustees. All the others take the role of there's some leader, whoever. Right? So additional laws for Moorish Americans. Right? Remember, you're Moorish American because you're descendants of Moroccans born in America, not because you're members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So Noble Drew Ali is talking to Moorish Americans. Noble Drew Ali is not addressing people who are in a temple. He's addressing anybody who thinks, says, exercises, demonstrates that they're Moorish Americans or Moors or honors to the Prophet, praise Allah, and wears fezzes, turbans, circle 7 pendants, whatever. He's addressing you. He's not addressing temple members. He's addressing Moorish Americans. Act 1. Grand Sheiks and governors and heads of all temples, all business, each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Before acting upon by any members, let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheik. And make sure you go check the synonyms of members so you know that a member is also a citizen. Right? A member is also a citizen. A member is not just, I belong to the Moorish Science Temple and that's it. Because if you have a nationality, you're a citizen of something. And Drew Ali told Moors, proclaim your nationality. So if he's telling you proclaim your nationality, obviously you're a citizen of something. And you're not going to be a citizen of an organization. For all those backward-ass Moors that want to talk about Moorish Science Temple of America is a government. Moorish Science Temple of America is a nation. That's foolish talk. Right? Act 2. All members are to attend their adept meetings and their public meetings promptly. All members are to attend their adept meetings. So does that mean that members must attend their adept meetings and their public meetings promptly? Not adepts must attend their adept meetings. Members must attend their adept meetings. Why? Because by this time, Noble Drew Ali knew all the guys sold out. And everybody was supposed to be adept now. Everybody was supposed to be in the position of, I'm adept. I self-law am master. I'm adept. Nobody was supposed to be on, oh yeah, those guys over there are the adepts, and, closed door, because sellout already happened. And he knew that in order for, that's why again, me and Brother Casanova Bay were talking about this. That's why he said that he needed 16 secretaries. Why you need 16 secretaries? Oh, to write down all these names of, all the people that are going to be coming into the temple. Why? But if he has 16 secretaries, that means, we came to the conclusion that means that everybody should really be a secretary. Everybody should really take the position that, so now you will have to know, well, what does it mean to be a secretary? RV Bay Publications, go get the Administrative Functions book of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and then it'll tell you in that book what the job of a secretary is. And you'll realize that the secretary's position is actually the highest position. It's not the grand sheiks and grand governors and those guys. The person with the biggest workload is the secretary. When you go check that, the person with the supreme authority is really the secretary. That's really where the authority lies, in the secretary. Right? The secretary is the one that has the seals. The secretary is the one that, I ain't gonna tell you nothing, I want you to go buy the book and support active Moors who's been telling you the truth about this, that, Dirty Moors been trying to prevent you from getting the truth about this. So at this time, when Noble Drew Ali put out the additional laws, all members were to attend their adept meetings. All members were to attend their adept meetings and their public meetings. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, you will be fined $1, which will go to your emergency fund. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. It takes finance to uplift the nation. So we want to put a call out, we want to put a shout out to all the Moors that's paying their dues on time, right? All the Moors in Canaan land that's putting their dues in. We want to give you supreme honors, because it takes finance to uplift the nation, and if we weren't getting the dues, we wouldn't be able to get anything done around here, because we already know it takes finance to do stuff out here. We also want to give honors to the Moors outside of Canaan land who support by paying their so-called dues. Because, they're not really members here. It's more honorary than membership. But with their dues, the people from outside Canaan land, with their dues, it adds on to help us do the additional work that needs to be done. And the people who do give or show support from outside of Canaan land, most times, the finance that they give is traded for, DVDs, books, whatever like that. It might be, you might donate $50 to willofalah.com, and you might get 2 CDs for that. Because, the music that I put out is not mine. That's Moors stuff. Been telling Moors, why don't you just buy 1 CD, bootleg it, and fill your temple up with it, and now you got something that you can push to assist in bringing in some finance, because we already know hip hop rules the world. And Moors rhyming, that's a whole different monster. Told Moors. So it's, you know, it's up to Moors what they want to do with what we give, right? Act 3. It is lawful, divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Act 3. No, they're not going to talk about these stuff about violating. They're not going to say Kudrow violated these, because, you know, if you go get the admin functions book, you'll find out that Grand Chief's not even supposed to pay dues. How come my dues are paid? How come I'm paying dues? How come, you know, books and whatever else is getting paid for with fiat that I make, not on this job of being a Grand Chief, whatever, job that I got out there, whatever I get, percentage goes to the temple. Automatic. Not even no question that can't, because, you know, whatever, got to get paid or whatever. Phone bill or whoever, they're not getting their cut if I'm short. They're not getting their cut. Temple's getting their cut all the time. Because Drew Ali told the Moors it takes finance and that he needs it badly. Why do you need finance so bad? How come there's 2 acts back to back talking about finance? $50 for, you know, so 50 cents for more standing around, passive, you know what I mean? Just come to the temple just for chit chat crap. You know what I mean? They ain't doing nothing, holding up walls, right? And not being active. All right, fine. You know what Moors must have been violating that for him to say, start finding you guys. I will start finding you for standing around. Why you start finding you for standing around? You stand around, you getting fines? Are we really supposed to be that active? Yeah, we are. Every single body who says that they're more should be doing something to assist in the uplifting of fallen humanity. Something. Do something. Facebook all day, on threads, back and forth and stuff like that. But you're not doing nothing. I know I do something. So I could go on there, I could talk crap to people, whatever I want to do. Because I know my dues are paid. My monetary dues and my, you know, cosmic, galactic dues. You know, my dues are paid. I'm super up to date on my dues. You know what I mean? Right? It is a lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause. So anybody who doesn't give up finance, they're enemies to this. Anybody that they can't, because, you know, I got all these, you know, bills and so all this stuff, and, you know, I can't put any finance, but, you know, next month I'll be able to do something. Well, in Canaanland Moors temple, if you can't pay your goddamn dues, pick up a broom. Fix the stuff on the shelf. Fold the chairs up. Stand at the door. Be a mufti. Because, you know, we already know how it goes, you know what I mean, with the finance situation and all these stuff. You know, we know what's up. You know, we know what's up. It's not a, you know, begging you to give finance. You know, especially if you don't got it. We're not gonna twist arms, hold people upside down, shake them to make sure that they give their finance. But there gotta be something. You gotta see a paper on the ground or something that you could, you know, do something to assist in this. How about, you know, they got, you know, It's like at Canaanland Moors Temple, right? They got newspapers. You know what I mean? How about go pick up a stack of newspapers and go sell those at 50 cents? You know, no just giving them out. You know what I mean? Take 20 million papers and just give them out for free because, you know, it costs fiat to make those. That's not free stuff. You know what I mean? So try to get something back. Don't just be giving away stuff. You know, you got flyers. You want to give them something away? Give flyers. You know, give them flyers. Anything to assist in this great missionary work that has to get done. You know, I mean, it's going to get done regardless because Allah is guiding this, but, you know, you can help out a little bit. You know, it's an obligation that everybody who says that they're Moors, you have an obligation to make sure that our people know about this because they don't know. And they don't know because Moors ain't telling. They don't know because Moors are taking a position that, well, you know, in order for me to whatever, you know, the Grand Sheikh has to approve that I can give this flyer out. The Grand Sheikh has to approve that I can write a book. The Grand Sheikh has to approve that I can do whatever. That's slave trade. Because he's a trustee. How's the slave telling the master, giving master orders? How's the servant telling the master what to do? Oh yeah, you should do. I'm the servant. Not even the servant. I'm your servant as Grand Chief. I'm your servant and I'm telling you what to do. And then when nothing happens, nothing gets done, 10 years, 15 years go by, nothing gets done. You know, how come, you know, our temple's not making progress? And how come we don't have a building? And how come we don't? Because you ain't giving no orders to these people. So how are you going to have stuff if you're not giving them orders? But then, you know, how are you going to give orders if they're dirty? And they aren't taking orders. Just go check the record. Go look at all the Sultan Moors up there. All the Sultan Moors, you know, they got their big chair, you know what I'm saying? They got their big podium they go stand, talk at. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Moorish science, Moorish movement, blah, blah, blah. Everybody does their little clap, whatever, at the end of stuff, and these guys go about their business when they're trustees. And every single time that they're at a podium or whatever like that, people, unless it's a class, people should be throwing stuff to them about we need to do this. Oh, how about we do this? People should be just throwing ideas at these people. And you got a secretary right there, 16 of them, right? And all the 16 secretaries are writing down all the stuff that all these people are coming into the temple because, you know, they realize that, you know, some stuff got to get done. Right? Justice will catch you if you're taking the position of not support this. And again, we're not begging finance, right? You know, the amount of finance that Will of Allah site, for example, brings in, right? The amount of finance that Will of Allah site brings in, that's Brother Jonathan Bay's dues. You don't gotta pay, you don't gotta give extra. He built a website so that Moors all over the world, because trust me, all over the world, they know about Iron Sheik Moorish MC. They got the CD. Children listen to it. 3-4 times they got to buy a CD because CDs, you know, on heavy rotation. Right? Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school. Oh, so that means Temple's supposed to have a school. So if Temple's supposed to have a school, okay, so Temple's supposed to have a school. So all members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school. And the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. Questionnaire? Right? Questionnaire. And these are the lessons for Sunday school. Now keep in mind, Noble Drew Ali was talking to adults when he said, children, you're plain rich. You don't even know what you got. He was talking to adults. So don't be fooled into thinking that, members promptly attending their meetings and send their children to Sunday school means only children go to Sunday school. He's talking about adults too. Because he wasn't talking to children when he said children in the statements, in the hadith. He was talking to adults when he said children, you're plain rich. He wasn't talking to children. Why? Because, like we said, when you come into the Moorish movement, out of the Negro, black, colored, African, whatever crap that we've been down with, we're coming in as people who have mental problems. We're coming in as sick people. We're coming in as people who desperately need help. Desperately. Help on the level where ain't nobody else got the power to help us. Right? Or they would have done it. They would have told us about our nationality and birthrights. And the only person to do that was the Prophet. Why? Because Allah sent him. And, he doesn't want to be given his props. So as soon as you start giving the props to the Prophet, all these people who've been saying that they've been backing him lose their credibility. Same credibility that they want Cujo to prove. They lose that. And when they lose that credibility, they become unpopular. And then it's just them sitting in those temples by themselves, talking to each other. Because the people realize that temple doesn't make you a Moor. And if I'm going to want to be a member of that and you're going to ridicule me and pretend like I'm the servant, when the head of the whatever the servant, they should leave there and go somewhere else that's going to deal with stuff properly. You know how to sit there under those dirty punks just because you want to show allegiance to the movement and he put me on, so I'm just going to stay here when he's playing Sultan with your birthright? If you're the real Sultan, you're the real authority. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out of your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Out of the Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Now, since we're there, might as well. Out of Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Right? So what's he talking about? What does he mean when he keeps making reference to this thing called nation? Right? So nation, 1175, Black's Law Dictionary. A people or aggregation of men existing in the form of an organized rural society, usually inhabiting a distinct portion of the earth, speaking the same language, using the same customs, possessing historic continuity, and distinguished from other like groups by their racial origin and characteristics, and generally, but not necessarily, living under the same government and sovereignty. Besides the element of autonomy or self-government, that is, the independence of the community as a whole from the influence of any foreign power. Oh, the influence of any foreign power. Now, besides the element of autonomy or self-government, that is, the independence of a community as a whole from the interference of any sovereign power in its affairs or any subjection to such power. It is further necessary to the constitution of a nation that it should be an organized rural society, that is, both governing its own members by regular laws and defining and protecting their rights and respecting the rights and duties which attach to it as a constituent member of the family of nations. Such a society, says Vattel, has her affairs and her interests. She deliberates and takes resolutions in common, thus becoming a moral person who possesses an understanding and will peculiar to herself and is susceptible of obligations and rights. Now, interestingly, that all of a sudden it starts going into reference of her affairs and her interests and she and herself. But in the beginning they were talking about the people, an aggregation of men existing in the form of an organized rural society. Okay? So men is really the feminine principle. Nations are really feminine. That's why Withdrawalie's not holding a brother. That's why Noble Drawley's not holding a brother. That's why Noble Drawley's not holding a brother. So this is a call to the sisters to understand their importance in this. And honors to the sisters that's active. Honors to, for sure we got to put Khalifa Media up there, because, you know, there wouldn't be anything with regard to, you know, literature, Qurans and red books and all this stuff that, you know, are hiding in the temples that people have no access to. You know, thanks to Khalifa Media, people now have access to the information. KhalifaMedia.com, go to the website, go get your Qurans and all the stuff that you can't get in the temple because they're hoarding stuff over there. Right? Northgate Moors.webs.com, another sister, took it on herself, start up her own website, put all Noble Drawley stuff up there, writings up there, divine warning, whatever up there, so you can get the stuff that Noble Drawley left for you. Why? Because if you go talk to some of these men around here, they're going to play patriarch crap with you and not give you your stuff. That's yours. Right? But we all know that mother takes care of the children. We all know that mother is really what's, you know, we all know that it's mother. Right? We know that it's mother. And again, you know, KhalifaMedia.com, NorthgateMoors.webs.com. That's two sisters that I know that's taking the bull by the horns, taking the horse by the reins. Not waiting for some man to tell them to rep the prophet. They're repping him because he repped her first. And now it's payback time. Keep in mind, that the crescent is feminine because that's the moon. The fez is feminine. Turban is feminine. Right? The great meeting is on. And the meeting is the meeting of the minds, not some adept crap. So remember to go continue to read Nation so you know what the hell Noble Dwali is talking about when he says certain stuff. Right? Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. Oh, so with us, all members must naturalize. That's not a demonstration. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel. Oh, some more is talking about partial and all this stuff. Let's just deal with that quick fast too, because these Moors are confused. Some of these Moors need slaps, to be honest. But you know, like I was saying on Facebook earlier, we're civilized a little bit, so you know, we're not gonna put you guys on a wall and all that type of stuff. You know, we'll just beat you with the truth, because that's the most we can do right now. Because as soon as we start put people on walls and all that stuff, and people are going to talk about violating the prophets, this and that. So let's go to let's get partial out the way, since that's the crap that they're pushing. So let's get that out the way first. Partial, right? So what they tell Moors is that in the divine constitution and bylaws and the additional laws that, you know, we're just getting introduced to now, that they don't talk about at all. You never hear Moors, especially dirty Moors, talk about the additional laws. They always talk about the divine constitution and bylaws. The purpose of bringing up the divine constitution and bylaws is because they know they altered that to say partial. The additional laws they couldn't touch. They couldn't get to the additional laws to change anything. That's why it still says parcel. P-A-R-C-E-L in the additional laws. Keep in mind, the additional laws for Moorish Americans and the divine constitution and bylaws for Moorish Americans are the same stuff. Right? Those two documents are relative, just like the Red Book and the Holy Quran are relative. They're supposed to be together. What did dirty Moors do? Separate them. Put the Red Book in the Adab chamber. And I know, I'm telling you that the Red Book was in the Adab chamber until Moors started putting the Red Book up. Honors to rvbaypublications.com, Brother Taj Tariq Bey and other Moors that put that book back in circulation. Because that book was, in 07, the Red Book was hidden in the Adab chamber. The Red Book is the book that they use in the Masonic Adab chamber, right, to bring Moors in. When that book is supposed to be with the Quran on the shelf for the members to have. That's the dirt that people did to this. I'm telling you, as Grand Sheikh that went through the Adab chamber. Remember, Noble Dwali told the Moors, all members are to attend their Adab meetings, so it is not no closed door crap going on anymore, right? This is back then. We're not talking about now, when you go to the temple now and they got Adab chamber and then, you know, you gotta, secret. Dwali took away all the secrets. Why is there secret stuff going on? Part and parcel is still in the additional laws. But when you go to the divine constitution and bylaws, Some Moors will tell you part and parcel. Some Moors will tell you part and partial. Now, if Noble Drew Ali came and brought the Moors into full life, full, complete life, why would he use the term partial to identify the jurisdiction of the Moors in their government? Partial, this is what partial is. Partial, relating to or constituting a part, not complete, not entire or universal. Didn't Noble Drew Ali say he's a universal prophet? So if Noble Drew Ali said he's a universal prophet, why would he use a term that means not universal? These are all the things, we're just putting out keys out there because you're going to bump into these dirty Moors that as soon as you start saying parcel and stuff like that, they're going to try to tell you, oh no, that's not, dirty Moors put you onto parcel, it's really partial, and they try to confuse you into thinking that, the Moors who are putting it out are the dirty ones, and the Moors who, are keeping the secrets are the true Moors with the Prophet. Don't listen to those BSers. Don't listen to them. They're going to rob you. We put it on the Set and Rock class. 2200. Put it on the Set and Rock class. Oh yeah, honors to Set and Rock Bay too for his work that he's been doing in the little measly 2 years that he's been nationalized. The measly 2 years that Brother Seton Rabe has been nationalized, he done more work in the measly 2 years that he's been in this than Moore's been in this 80 years. Yan got a book out too. Partial, relating to, or constituting a part, not a whole. Not complete, not entire or universal, not general or total. Partial. Now, let's see why Noble Drew Ali said parcel. And let's see why these dirty Moors don't say parcel. Why they keep saying partial? Because they don't want you to be whole. They don't want you to be complete. If you're not complete, they can complete you. You don't want dirty Moors completing you. So if dirty Moors complete you, they'll put your right hand on the left side and the left hand on the right side and then talk about clap for them. Right? I know you can't clap for them, but right? So what they're going to try to pull, right? Because this is what they always do, right? This is what they always do. They say, Noble Drew Ali would never say parcel because parcel is a small package or bundle. Then they stop there. And then, because we don't know law, ignorant to law, incompetent, we figure true, because a parcel is a small package. You take a parcel to the post office and mail it and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to go with partial. Because there's no way that he could mean parcel. Because parcel is a package. Why would I be part and a small package? With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and a small package of the said government. That don't sound right. So we're not going with part. Oh, but they forgot to mention parcel is a noun, small package or bundle. Also a verb, to divide an estate. To divide an estate. So if we're part and parcel, we're part and to divide an estate. So that kind of goes a little bit better because, he's talking about estate. Noble Drew Ali's talking about nationality. He's talking about empires. He's talking about land. Then parcel, not the package one, must apply. Now, here's what they have to say, under the definition of parcel, that, Dirty Moors not going to tell people the rest of the stuff, right? And then keep in mind that parcel got EL in it, which is Moorish, and partial has AL in it, which is Moorish, but we're not part. We're not incomplete. We're whole. The word parcel is not a sufficient description of the property alleged in an indictment to have been stolen. The prisoner was indicted for stealing one parcel of the value of 1 shilling of the goods. The parcel in question was taken from the hold of a vessel, out of a box broken open by the prisoner, held an insufficient description. Parcel, a part or portion of land, a part of an estate. It may be synonymous with lot. Now let's go again. So, part of an estate. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part of an estate of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, Africans, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men must now proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the Prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies pure with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God Allah. So Noble Drew Ali laid it all out for the Moors, made it real simple, and Dirty Moors wanted to make this thing advanced. Dirty Moors wanted to make this something that you're not going to get right away. You have to, study what they say in order to get this. Now, Moors also say that the Moorish Science Temple of America is state, a nation state, right? The Moorish Science Temple of America, nation state. Okay? State, to express the particulars of a thing in writing or in words, to set down or set forth in detail, to aver, allege, or declare, to set down in gross, to mention in general terms or by way of reference, to refer. State noun, a people permanently occupying a fixed territory. So the people have to be occupying a territory, bound together by common law, habits, and custom into one body politic, exercising through the medium of an organized government, independent sovereignty, and control over all persons and things within its boundaries, capable of making war and peace, and of entering into international relations with other communities of the globe. The organization of social life, which exercises sovereign power in behalf of the people. One of the component commonwealths or states of the United States of America. The term is sometimes applied also to governmental agencies authorized by state, such as municipal corporations. The people of a state, in their collective capacity, considered as the party wronged by a criminal deed. The public, as in the title of a cause, the state versus AB, the section of territory occupied by one of the United States, the circumstances or condition of a being or thing to a given time. Now, a people permanently occupying a fixed territory bound together by common law, habits, and customs into one body politic. So the people are the state. The people are the state. The organization of social life which exercises sovereign power in behalf of the people. Now, if the organization is pretending to exercise sovereign power in behalf of the people, it's not a state. Half these Moor Science temples aren't states because they're not sovereign. They're siding with somebody, some agency, some corporate entity, just like Moors talk about, yeah, you gotta file stuff in Cooks County in order to be Moors and all this. To be Moorish Science Temple, you need to do stuff with Cooks County. But Noble Drew Ali already did that stuff. And again, the position is the people are the government, not the organization. Now, when we go to Noble Drew Ali, himself, right, he has taken away all of the secrets. There is no secrets as far as Noble Drew Ali is concerned, right? The only way that the Moorish Science Temple of America can be a state is if the people that are members of it are civic minded. The Moorish Science Temple of America is not a state if the people are religiousized, dogmatized. The Moorish Science Temple of America is not a state if the people do not take the position of being adepts. The object of our organization is to help, but this is from our Moorish leaders' historical message to America. The object of our organization is to help in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity and to teach those things necessary to make our members better citizens. So the purpose of the temple is to make the people who are belonging to that, its members, better citizens. Why? So they can do like Noble Drew Ali said and take their place among the affairs of men. The affairs of men is not in the Moorish Science Temple of America. The affairs of men is the world. The affairs of men isn't within this organization. The affairs of men is outside of the organization. Anybody pushing the perspective of the temple is the nation, the temple is the state, and they're not dealing with things from the perspective of the people run this, they want to pretend like the authority that they have as heads is from Allah and the Prophet, and you need to be here at your meetings and all this. Fraud. Big time fraud. Because the people are the ones that are supposed to give the orders. And if the people aren't giving the orders, then they're getting played. Big time played. Played on levels that they can't even comprehend that they're being played. Why? Because they're still there, sitting in the pews, talking about, oh yeah, that was a good one by the Grand Sheik. Woo! What a class. What a whatever. And you guys never gave them the orders to do anything? Well, they said that at the ADAP meeting, they're going to do the stuff and then they're going to let us know. You're supposed to be the ones bringing up stuff that they're going to talk about in the ADAP meeting. If you're in the Moorish Science Temple. This is not some come join. What the Moorish Science Temple is to formulate the body politic, to get the people's mindset in the correct place so they can do the things necessary to make themselves better citizens and take their place amongst the affairs of men, because the affairs of men are sitting there waiting for the Moors, begging for the Moors to do something, begging for the Moors. And then the Moors are under the assumption that it's not set up properly yet. We still need some this and we still need some that, and we still, when Noble Jolly had manufacturing companies and stuff like that in the 1920s. There was people all over the world that were supporting him. Every individual who claims to be whatever organization, group, whatever that they claim to be. Anybody, if they don't have a nationality, they're in supreme violation of Noble Drew Ali, supreme violation of their ancestors, supreme violation of Allah, and they will receive their reward for their unjust deeds. Because Moors must obey the Prophet in what was laid down. And again, we it's not some boosting, it might be biased, but it's not, boosting Moors. But we tell Moors, go to RV Bay Publications and go study there. Go to Khalifa Media and go buy the books there. Because the only way that you would have access to Noble Drew Ali is if you get with active Moors. Passive Moors ain't going to tell you. Dirty Moors definitely not going to tell you. So the only option, if you want to learn, is get with Moors who demonstrate this. Like we say. Like we tell Moors. We tell Moors. Like, I was the first one in Canaanland to exercise right to travel. Ain't nobody did that around here before. I put that out here. I put that out here. Why? Because when we went to Chicago and we seen them Moors with their own plates or whatever, and they're not getting stopped by nobody, and they don't got $600 insurance bill, and every year go renew plates and renew sticker and renew this and that for the state, you better believe that that inspired, or that was inspirational. When we went to Mecca and Moors didn't have their fez in a bag going to the temple, Some did, you know what I mean? But, you know, majority of the Moors, they were Moors outside the temple. They were Moors when they went to the store. They were Moors. Like they were Moors on the level where, you know, for example, when we went to, I wish I remember the name of the store, but there was a sister there that had a vegan restaurant or something like that, right? And the Moors had to tell the sister, no, it's cool, serve them people first. And people were willing to give up their spot so the Moors could get served first. We're talking about maybe 5, 6 people in line waiting to get served. The Moors came in and they were going to give up their spot for the Moors to go get food first. Just Asiatics that were in the store. You know, vegan, vegetarian, whatever. They weren't Moors or whatever. They were just Asiatics that were just in the store. And they were like, yo, we'll, you know what I mean? And the Moors were like, no, it's cool. You know what I mean? Well, thanks for the offer. That was inspiration for us to come back here and do something with this. And then we start going through the literature, you realize that, okay, so that's why Noble Drew Ali said that this is a national organization with a Rotarian complexion. This is a organization that when you pay your humanitarian dues, the world opens up to you. A good example of, you know, the world opening up to you is by doing humanitarianism is when the Moors, the Nuwaubian Moors, first got the land in Georgia. And they were establishing themselves. And they were going to all these old age homes and hospitals and doing all these things that you go check the record in Georgia of all the awards and whatever like that Nuwaubians got, that Dr. York L got, all this stuff that he got for doing all this humanitarian stuff. You have to wonder, why they go at him like that? Why they go at him like that? Because the groundwork that was laid was based on what Noble Drew Ali taught. Stagnate him, stagnate the movement. Why? Because our people have an innate ability to gravitate to the negative and not recognize the positive and gravitate to that. Our people have a internal mechanism, obviously set up by them not being themselves, having minority mindset, slave mindset, or whatever, that they're not going to recognize a Moor doesn't have any charges. They'll only recognize, oh, he got kidnapped, he got arrested, or he's a Moor, he's supposed to be sovereign. Noble Drew Ali is sovereign. How are they able to arrest him if he's sovereign? Why is the sovereign getting arrested or whatever like that? He never got no charges. So what's the problem with getting detained? That wasn't an arrest. They detained him. It's a big deal. He got detained. He never got no charges after. Yeah, but no. Yeah, but nothing. They not know he was arrested. He never got what people assume it was. And those charges were some trumped up charges that he killed Green. He ain't done nothing to do with kill Green. That's why they let him go. But what they do? They let him go right into hands of these dirty bastards who already knew that he was going to be let go. And what did they do? They took the position of being consul. But I thought Noble Drew Ali didn't teach civics. How did they know? Now, how is it that Chicago police knew to call Moors when they were going to release the prophet? Why didn't they just do like how they do with Moors out here? Just let them go. Open the door, let them go. Why are they calling Moors to come get him? That's how deep it is. Why is Moorish Science Temple of America not in King Alfred plan? When there's big ass FBI file on the Moorish Science Temple. They got a big file on the NOI. They got a big file on all these other black organizations. But only the black organizations are mentioned in King Alfred plan. Moorish Science Temple is not mentioned when they got as big a FBI file as any of those other group leaders, heads, or whatever like that. But they're not in King Alfred plan. Because the big conspiracy is to get you to not know who Noble Drew Ali is. Because once you know who he is, then you can, do some background research to find out more things that you might not have really, thought to consider, like law terms, like Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, be themselves. Well, be themselves, what's be themselves mean in law, in propria persona? But only somebody who studies law would be able to make that relation. Part and parcel. Part of an estate. Only people who know law would be able to know that. Proclaiming a nationality. Right? So as we grow, as our level of information gets higher, we're going to realize immediately how many dirty people are out there, because their position is to keep us in the stage of belief, and once we're in the stage of belief, then we don't know, and once we don't know, then we're easy to get gamed. That's why they can't play Canaanland Moors. That's why dirty Moors are mad, because you know how long they've been trying to play Canaanland Moors. They've been going all over the place trying to do that, play Canaanland. But it ain't happening because we study out here. We're not, like there's Moors who came in the temple a month ago, and they're going out there trying to claim properties and stuff like that out here. We're studious. Not sitting back waiting. Not, Grand Sheik, we gotta wait for Grand Sheik to whatever. It's your birthright. Exercise. We got your back. We're not abandoning people or whatever like that. If you're studying, Land and Transport Department. Amor took that on himself to go do that. There's Moors out here right now. They got their own plates and all that in Canaanland. You know what I mean? They're not getting bothered. Moor took it on himself. Talked to the Moors that, been doing that. Found out how to do it. Got active. It's like, all these, Moors in Chicago, and, there's only a few Moors claiming those $1 properties there. Yeah, $1 properties in Chicago, sitting there. Moors complaining about they don't got stuff. How you complaining you don't got stuff when they got properties there that you could actually and factually, go get for $1. Right? If Moors can, not even Moors, if Europeans are claiming properties by paying the taxes on them and owning it. Oh yeah, taxes $1,000 owed or whatever. You pay the taxes, then you own this. How are they able to do that? How are they able to do those things? And if Europeans could do those things, what's wrong with Asiatics? What's wrong with Moors? Oh, right. Dirty Moors told you that Moors don't do that. Moors don't claim properties, and Moors don't exercise right to travel. And Moors don't have nationality cards and put their card down and get taxes off. And, Moors, have to, write a prophet, and pray, and sing hymns and, do all these things that are contrary to being civic minded and constitutional. When Noble told the Moors, be civic minded and constitutional. We got work to do. But like we said, like Noble said, you got money in the bank. If you got money in the bank, that means you can get. And if you can get as much as you can get and help fix this mess out here. Because it's only going to be fixed when the Moors do it. Don't be expecting, waiting for nobody else to do anything. Because trust me, it is not happening unless Moors do it. If we let somebody else do it, trust me, it's going to be all for them to, it'll be all for them to play like, they're doing something when they're not doing nothing. They're just looking out for themselves. They don't even care. They don't even care. So we want Moors to start caring for their own stuff. And when we start caring for our own stuff, when we start caring for the Prophet and realizing what he brought, then we would really start being. You know what I mean? Instead of just standing around having to pay everybody for everything when everything should be free. We're just going to close out. Well, we got about 5 minutes left, so we could actually put some of this out there. Chapter 7 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Keep in mind the title of today's class, so that, and oh yeah, another thing too, just to put out there. When we read the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and we're reading the chapters having to do with our good brother Yahshua, Jesus, Isa, whatever you want to call him. Chapter 1, chapter 1 to chapter 19. We are reading from the divinely prepared instructions, works, booklet of Noble Juali. Don't let people try to tell you about Aquarian gospel and all that. Grand Sheikh Nature talk about that too. So if you haven't seen it, go watch the Moorish History Month Grand Sheikh Nature El Bay class. Alright? So we're just going to start a little bit into chapter 7 and deal with specific parts. Verse 23. And Isa said, well, actually 22. Again, Lamas asked of wisdom, what have you to say? And Isa said, is the consciousness that man is aught and Allah and his man are one. That naught is not. The power is but illusion. That heaven and earth and hell are not above, around, below, but in. which in the light of aught becomes naught, and Allah is all. Lamas asked, pray, what is faith? And Isa said, faith is the surety of the omnipotence of Allah and man, the certainty that man will reach deific life. And just to put it out there, just so everybody's familiar, this is the Holy Quran, Circle 7, of the Nuwapian head, Malachi York L. And what you realize is that in this book, when he's speaking of, those chapters, 1 to 19, he's referencing the good brother, Jesus, as Isa. Why? Because he was taking the position, that's why he called himself Imam Isa, because he was taking the position that he was, the coming of the savior of humanity. No different than Elijah Muhammad claimed that he was the savior that came to save people, and, Fard is Allah and all this type of stuff, fraud to get people to back their stuff, and deny their prophet. I just want to put that out there so you know how low people were willing to go so you don't have this birthright that's been yours for 102 years that you're just finding out about right now. Right? Salvation is a ladder reaching from the heart of men to the heart of Allah. It has 3 steps. Belief is first, and this is what man thinks perhaps is truth. So this is where majority of the people are at, right? Including the dirty Moor minions, that are going to be coming around challenging you when you start standing up for your birthright that they're claiming is owned by the Moor Science Temple of America. Right? People think perhaps they got something because, some dirty Moor put them onto something. And they don't know jack. And faith is next. This is what man knows is truth. Right? So we're supposed to be at the stage of faith when we come into this. We're supposed to already know. That's why the Moors were so quick to just send us through the Arab chamber. Because we already knew what truth was. We already had faith. We weren't guessers. We knew what this was. Right? We knew that we were, divine beings, not black guys. Fruition is the last, and this is man himself, the truth. So man reaches deific life when he becomes what he knows. That's why you see some Moors, they don't even got nationality cards, paperwork, or nothing like that, and they're standing up, beating up courts, beating up so-called police, beating up anybody who tries to challenge them on their status, because they're the truth, manifested in flesh. And it's obvious that they're the truth manifested in flesh. So they don't get bothered. Then you have other Moors who believe that they're the truth manifested in flesh, get their ass kicked, and think they did something wrong. When they didn't do nothing wrong, you're just not studying enough. It didn't go from here to your heart yet. It's just still here. It has to go from here to your heart in order for you to be what you know. Has to. It's not going down. You're not going to be exercising any birthrights and getting away with it if the knowledge that you have does not resonate in your heart chakra. And remember that fear suppresses your being what you know. Fear suppresses your being what you know. That's why they use all these tactics, put handcuffs on Moors and put on the lights and do all these things to stimulate the fear within you so that you can abandon your divinity. Belief is lost in faith, and in fruition faith is lost. And man is saved when he has reached deific life, when he and Allah are one. Man is saved when he reaches deific life, and he and Allah are one. So that was a good welcome back, class. We want to say Islam to all the Moors all over the place. All over the place. We want to say Islam to all the Moors. Right? All the Moors. Right? But we want to give high honors to the active Moors. And we want to give high honors to the unconscious Moors becoming conscious. Oh, we also want to give a big shout out to the young Moors that's coming into the movement and taking this like it's theirs, right? All the young Moors, all the Moors who, seen, hey, most that's not called Yasin Bey no more. Hey, Doctor Who wears a fez. Hey, they said more in that TV show. All those Moors, Islam to y'all. Keep on it. You know what I mean? Because we're there. You know what I mean? We're there. We just need everybody else stop, listening to the great debaters and get down with their birthrights. At Alhambra ballrooms, but they don't want to be Moors. But they're going to debate at Alhambra ballrooms, but they don't want to be Moors. Oh yeah. And remember that Noble Drew Ali came to redeem us from our sinful ways. And our sinful ways was calling ourselves Negro black colored. So stay away from goddamn sinners who call themselves all these labels, warning you about gonna be going down soon. Stay the hell away from those people. Because trust me, you be next to them people. Yeah, Moorish lives matter, not black lives. So make sure, like the Moor says, let the truth shine bright through your actions, not through your words. Let the truth shine through your actions. And remember, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Moorish Heritage and History School, MHHS, Eyes Wide Open, blogtalkradio.com, MHHS, Eyes Wide Open, 9:30. If you are able, check out the show. It's archived, lots of shows up there. Get your knowledge on. Again, Civil Alert, radio got stuff, Blog Talk. We got RV Bay Publications, MoorishCivilLetter.net, MoorishGuidepost.com, MoorishGuidepost.org, not .com, MoorishGuidepost.org, NorthgateMoors.webs.com, ChalifaMedia.com, TheMoorishDirectory.com. Check out Alim Bey's website. Go Google Asir, the Duke of Tears. Go get his stuff and continue to study. Islam to all the Moors. Peace, love. Let's just close out with the prayer. And we want to say Islam to the Moon Crickets. Big up to the brother, the good brother, Lord Fury, the good brother Killer Priest, and DJ Merciless for continuing to bring that conscious hip-hop, keep us inspired doing this great work that we're doing. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Islam, Islam, Islam. Ashe. And we'll see y'all next week. We're back now. Ball's done. So we're going to be kicking it off once again. And bankrupt all these dirty Moors, robbing people of their birthrights. Islam Moors, stay strong. Oh yeah, and one more shout out. We want to give a shout out to um, Sister Safi Yin. Came back from Cambodia, and she got stories to tell. So we're gonna try to set that up. You know what I mean? You know the jet lag and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Has her a little wobbly still, but the trip was excellent. You know what I mean? And she said, once again, thank you to all the Moors who assisted her financially in going on that trip. Trip changed her life, and she's grateful beyond grateful. So Islam to all the Moors and Islam to all the international Moors who just contacted the Moors in South Africa that contacted us, the Moors in the UK that contacted us, and the Moors in the so-called Caribbean, or as we call it, the Atlantis Islands that recently got onto nationality and birthrights. The work is proving itself, Moors. Stay strong. Peace, love, and hotep. Islam.